Hey, gearheads, let's talk cars. You know, those things that get us from point A to point B. But have you ever wondered how they came to be? It's a wild ride, starting way back before the first Model T rolled off the line. We're talking centuries ago, folks. Way back in the 17th century, a bright spark named Isaac Newton, the gravity guy, also tinkered with steam power for a horseless carriage. He even sketched out a design. Then, in the 1800s, inventors across Europe got their hands dirty. They were experimenting with steam engines and, believe it or not, even electric motors to power vehicles. Can you imagine? Electric cars before the light bulb was a household item. One of those pioneers was Karl Benz. This German engineer patented the first practical automobile in 1886. His three-wheeled motor wagon was a game changer. It sported an internal combustion engine and, get this, a steering wheel. Now, this wasn't your grandpa's Cadillac. It was more like a motorized tricycle, but hey, you got to start somewhere, right? These early cars were handmade, expensive toys for the rich. They were slow, unreliable, and scared the heck out of horses. But they were a sign of things to come. The automobile was on its way and nothing could stop it. Now, fast forward to the early 1900s, a guy named Henry Ford had a vision. He wanted to build a car for everyone, not just the wealthy. His secret weapon, the assembly line. This revolutionary system changed everything. Before the assembly line, cars were built one at a time by skilled craftsmen. It was slow and costly. Ford's idea was to break down the process into simple, repeatable tasks. Workers would add parts to each car as it moved down the line. This made production much faster and cheaper. The result, the Ford Model T. This car was simple, affordable, and easy to maintain. It was a smash hit. The Model T put America on wheels. Suddenly, everyday people could afford the freedom and convenience of owning a car. Ford's innovation didn't just change the car industry, it changed the world. It led to the development of suburbs, highways, and a whole new way of life. Who knew a simple idea like the assembly line could have such a massive impact? The road to automotive progress wasn't always smooth. The Great Depression in the 1930s hit the car industry hard. People were struggling to put food on the table, let alone buy new cars. But even in tough times, innovation continued. Car makers focused on making their vehicles more stylish and comfortable to attract buyers. Then came World War II. Car factories were converted to produce tanks, jeeps, and other military vehicles. The war effort spurred technological advancements in engines, materials, and design. These advancements would later find their way into civilian cars. After the war, the American economy boomed. People were eager to buy new cars, and car makers were ready to meet the demand. This post-war period saw the rise of powerful V8 engines, automatic transmissions, and other features that we now take for granted. Despite the challenges, the car industry kept rolling on, always finding ways to adapt and innovate. It's a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of the people who design, build, and drive these amazing machines. The 1950s and 60s were the golden age of car culture. America was booming, and cars became symbols of freedom, style, and status. This was the era of chrome bumpers, tail fins, and powerful engines. Think Elvis cruising in a pink Cadillac, or James Dean in his iconic Porsche Spider. Cool, right? Car ownership skyrocketed. Drive-in movie theaters, diners, and roadside attractions popped up everywhere. The open road beckoned, and families piled into their station wagons for cross-country road trips. It was a time of optimism and adventure, and the car was at the heart of it all. Iconic cars like the Chevrolet Corvette, the Ford Thunderbird, and the Volkswagen Beetle became cultural touchstones. These cars weren't just transportation, they were statements. They represented a way of life, a sense of freedom and possibility that was intoxicating. The love affair with the automobile was in full swing, and it seemed like nothing could stop it. Little did people know that a new set of challenges and a new era of innovation were just around the corner.